ahead and give YouTube a heads up. Maybe this right here may change something before this video starts, but this video is going to have some very colorful language, not by me, but by the people who, quite frankly, are responding and reacting to all of this. And to go on top of this, I still have not figured out how to use the bleep function, nor at this moment in time do I feel the need to use it, because obviously the raw emotion here, I believe, is 100% fully justified. But here we are once again talking about political views and wokeness in gaming. This, to me, is just more and more proof that these people are trying to ruin your escapism, but make sure you guys stick around for the full video, because this Starfield debacle is revealing a lot about a lot of people, and I am here to talk about every bit of it. Now, with that right there being said, let's go ahead and prime this video and get
We had
started.
our team reach out. Hey, can we work with you? Can we do something? Due to past controversies, there's no way we can work with
all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing.
Oh, he's so funny. That got him. I don't even think he's saying I have a small head. He's saying I have a small brain.
Those right there were just three small samples, three small clips of what's happened. Of course, Heels versus Babyface. He went on Twitter. He had a bit of a rant. Actually, I want to say it was actually one of his YouTube videos. And of course, he's been going back and forth with Hassan Piker. I don't think that there's much of a reason to do that, as I will explain in this video here, because obviously a lot about a lot of people is in fact getting revealed. But it also shows you exactly why it is that those in the old anti-SJW crowd are beginning to get a little bit upset with their own, whereas the total SJW crowd is just as loony as always, and quite frankly showing themselves to have a lot more hypocrisy in them than, quite frankly, we originally thought. With that right there being said, though, let's go ahead and get into this. So, guys, I am showing you guys the reviews on this game. I want to go ahead and get this out of the way first before I talk about the actual situation itself. Obviously, these gaming review scores can be doctored to a certain degree. I mean, how many video games out there had very, very bad plot lines, very, very bad stories? How many games were universally disliked that gaming journalists, for whatever reason, chose to push on us? People can obviously see that the reality of the situation is not exactly what they're being presented. And obviously, as somebody who does not like dealing with pronouns and crap in their video games, because quite frankly, it's absolutely aggravating that somebody's trying to push an agenda across me that quite frankly will not take, I can obviously feel Heels versus Babyface's sentiment. Of course, I'm probably not going to be as vocal as he is and go on a bit of a rant or anything, but I personally feel that his rant was 100% justified. This is obviously a product that he does in fact like, so therefore if it's a product that he does in fact like, then obviously he has a right to voice his opinion about it. I think everybody that is ragging him or has been ragging him for the past couple of days, I think you guys may want to look. And of course, included there was a bit of a tab with a few people who are making YouTube videos. Now guys, really quick, whether you like a video game or not is totally subjective. Now, me personally, I don't want politics in my gaming. Of course, I don't game as much as many gamers out there. You guys know my actual thoughts on this. I believe it should be done in moderation. You shouldn't be going out of your way to do it all the time, unless, of course, maybe you're on YouTube and you're doing it to obviously get paid because it's part of your job, and obviously to write reviews. Even though this right here is not a gaming review channel, it's just a good old-fashioned anti-SJW and common sense channel, where, of course, I oftentimes start spouting all kinds of crazy stuff. Of course, some people don't like this and some people do. However, I always try to make a point in every single one of these videos, and the point that I'm about to make is this right here. Whether you like a game or not is subjective. However, if you don't like a game or not, that is your right to do so, and of course, it is your right to say, screw this right here. I don't like this video game. I don't like pronouns in my content, which, by the way, I would not like it either. As a matter of fact, I think the whole pronoun thing is absolutely stupid, and I think these people need to give it a rest. So, obviously, Heels versus Babyface, who does a lot of movie reviews, does a lot of gaming reviews. I watch him from time to time. He obviously had some feelings about this. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a bit of a warning. Go ahead and give YouTube a bit of a warning, because, of course, they're going to come out of here and they're going to try to give me the yellow dollar sign, hence the reason why it is I'm about to start putting this type of content on Rumble full-time. Don't worry, I'll give you guys some updates towards the end of the video. Of course, it's going to start 2024. But let's go ahead and roll this 2-minute, 27-second rant, and then we'll go ahead and come on back, and we'll go ahead and decide whether he is right to say this or not.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world. Just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring! We can't see past our own fucking reflection! That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company! Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no. Current fucking day. Fuck off. You're boring. You're fucking dull. You have nothing to say. You are a one-hived mind twat waffle. That's all you fucking are. And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired. You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing.
Like I said before, I personally don't like pronouns and politics put in my gaming, okay? Let me go ahead and give you guys another example of what I mean really quick. Most of the games that I play typically tend to be stuff like COD, Call of Duty, some survival horror, Resident Evil. It took me a long time to warm up to it. Of course, the Last of Us series before it went completely balls crap in part 2, which I think everybody has a right, of course, because people said that if you didn't like that game, you were a racist, misogynist, or maybe even a transphobe. Don't worry, we'll get to that here in a second, because our boy Hassan Piker, well, not really my boy, let's just face it, a guy who, quite frankly, spends all day eating and scamming other people's channels for about 8 hours in a day. Don't worry, we'll get to him in a second. Of course, I got a fly flying around in front of the camera, but still at the same time, you guys know me, I'm completely uncensored in one way or another. Fact of the matter is this right here. He obviously has a right to be upset, so I think all these people who are screaming and hollering and calling him a man-child and calling him an idiot and calling him a transphobe and whatnot are obviously not correct in this situation. I mean, good old Dr. Disrespect, he got into it himself, and of course, they blatantly told him he was not welcome to the party.
Random things. Him. Got it. Okay. Now everything's starting to make sense. Everything's starting to make sense now. Everything's starting to make sense. Got it. All right. I got it. So, I got to say this, Champs, for just real quick. I just got to get it off my chest. Obviously, we've been hyping up Star Citizen for Starfield for a long time. We've been making it very vocal, right, Champs? We had our team reach out. Hey, can we work with you? Can we do something? Due to past controversies, there's no way we can work with Dr. Disrespect.
There are other things that Dr. Disrespect has said that, quite frankly, I agree with, but also some things that, quite frankly, is a little bit questionable. I'm not going to get into this. I actually had to go back and do some actual research on him. But still, at the same time, though, it seems to me like, obviously, they're going after him over the last time SJW in gaming took place the last time. That's, let's say, when Call of Duty, for example, decided to go fully woke. Obviously, Dr. Disrespect, he got into a little bit of trouble for actually standing in solidarity with Nick Merrickx, who, by the way, I've 100% fully agreed with. And, yeah, Call of Duty, of course, it went woke, and, you know, I don't even really play it as much, except most of the old Call of Duty games, but still. A lot of this hypocrisy is coming out because there are a lot of people out here who really and truly don't have any room to talk. Speaking of Hassan Piker, I wanted to put this out here because Hassan Piker, for whatever reason, he decided to chime in and say that people needed a lobotomy, or they needed to be lobotomized over this take.
For why we must bring back lobotomies. Well, Hassan, at least they would be able to lobotomize me. You, however, I don't think they would actually find enough brain cells.
Whoa, that's his counter? Okay, that was so much better. Oh, he's so funny. That got him. I don't even think he's saying I have a small head. He's saying I have a small brain.
And, of course, as you guys heard right there, Mr. Heels versus Babyface obviously has the exact same feeling that I do, except I'm just going to go ahead and say that there's nothing there to inspect when it comes to Hassan Piker. By the way, speaking of Hassan Piker, after that little exchange, he decided to go a little bit further when Heels versus Babyface actually kind of like showed people an old clip of Hassan. Let's roll this real quick.
And if you don't know who this guy is, let me introduce you to him.
So you said America deserved 9/11. Did you mean that?
Yeah.
Dude, no way. He used one of my highlights. Bro, that's so good. That's awesome. I don't even need to clarify it.
This right here just goes to further prove what Heels versus Babyface is saying. There's not really anything up there to inspect. Somebody who basically has this clip of himself being forced to apologize for obviously a quote that, quite frankly, was not exactly a good one, or a take that says that basically that America or Americans, which I know he went out there and said that Americans did not deserve 9/11, but of course this was after Jink had to force him, Jink, by the way, is his uncle, had to basically pry him into apologize, which, by the way, it was a half-hearted apology because the left, of course, they completely run around with absolute no accountability, and they, quite frankly, can do whatever they want. But, of course, the only thing Heels versus Babyface did was just go out there and show people exactly who you were. A brainless meltot. That right there is what the hell Hassan Piker really and truly is. But for somebody to then turn right back around and say, hey, man, he shared one of my famous quotes. Dude, that's not exactly the quote that you would want shared. I would think that something that people universally love and agree with, that right there would be the thing that people would actually like. So kudos to Heels versus Babyface for being fully based, which is something that I, quite frankly, cannot say about Hassan. Pay attention.
Set it up ahead of time. I got fucking yelled at endlessly and relentlessly on my alt account. Like, they were making it seem like I was already transphobic for even thinking about this. And now, look at that. The only reason why I'm not playing this game, and I know a bunch of other people are not playing this game, is because we know that it's not worth it to get fucking bullied endlessly and called transphobic endlessly when we have massive... Only reason why I'm not playing this game, and I know a bunch of other people are not playing this game, is because we know that it's not worth it to get fucking bullied endlessly and called transphobic endlessly when we have massive queer communities and audiences. That's it. Everybody knows, everybody fucking knows how much leftist motherfuckers love to chirp on the internet. They got no power. All they do is chirp, chirp, chirp. And that's precisely why so many fucking people that would otherwise like play it, maybe even raise money for charities or whatever. They're not doing it.
Yes, that was Hassan Piker upset about the fact that he was going to get labeled a transphobe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all that type of crap there because the Hogwarts legacy thing. Not exactly a guy who I would call based. I mean, then again, though, this is also the same guy who doesn't donate any charity himself. It's funny that he mentioned charity in that clip because he doesn't even donate to charity. He claims to be a socialist, claims to be a radical socialist. Meanwhile, he lives in a mansion. He's got millions and millions and millions of dollars. He's a champagne socialist and a grifter. By the way, if you approach Hassan and you actually point out the fact that he's Jink's nephew, and that he got by on being Jink's nephew, the only thing he's going to do is just look at you and say some crazy stuff like he did in the middle of his debate with Sean Fitzgerald and say, you got to get yourself some uncle love. That's how degenerate these people are. There was this tweet by Harry from Podcast of the Lotus Eaters, who basically was saying that a lot of these guys would have gone along with Anna Sarkeesian during the whole SJW gamer and Gamergate thing. He was basically saying if she maybe had like a different attitude about it, they probably would have gone along with it. I'm not so sure that's the case. I do think that some people are tired of it because they're being painted in certain camps and quite frankly they don't care. But then again, at the same time, though, you got to look at who the hell is painting people in other camps. Dude, I know left-wingers, people who are left of moderate, who are getting called right-wingers because they didn't like something in a video game. Not saying that heels versus babyface falls in this camp. What I'm saying to you is that these people have actually painted people in a bit of a hole already. However, here's the thing that you have to understand, and you're going to hear me allude to this a little bit later on in the video, and that, of course, is... after a while, the SJWs are going to find themselves in a bit of a hole. They're going to find their circle shrinking. Now, I want you to think about something really quick. Bethesda has got a lot of games out there, obviously, and obviously they've got a lot of very positive reviews on this game, but they've also got a lot of people making very, very negative reviews about the game. Of course, you know about heels versus babyfaces rant. Of course, I brought this up earlier. You guys obviously saw the rant for yourself. There are people out there who look at the pronoun thing and they automatically get turned off by this, and they want absolutely nothing to do with this. You see, after a while, the gaming company is the one that hurts, and they're the ones who eventually suffer because, quite frankly, people don't want to deal with this nonsense anymore. Once the word gets out, people are not going to want to buy it. After a while, they're going to begin to lose money, almost like, say, what happened in the case of Bud Light. Maybe you guys should, I don't know, maybe consider doing the exact same thing that us conservatives did when it came to the Bud Light over the Dylan Mulvaney thing and the Target thing. Maybe you should consider doing that. Then again, at the same time, though, not a lot of gifters, not a lot of gamers are on the conservative side of politics, but I would definitely consider just saying screw this and not buying it, because after a while, when Bethesda begins to lose money, they may go back to the drawing board and say, hey, what the hell is going on here? And then, of course, they make normal content, which, by the way, will seem as right-wing to the SJW soy boy snowflakes, and then after a while, they'll stop playing the game then, and guess what? After a while, they will eventually be out of your circle. Expand more on this towards the end of the video, where I go a little bit more in depth and explain that, yeah, after a while, these people are just going to paint themselves into a bit of a hole, and their circle is just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and after a while, they're not going to have anywhere to go, because after a while, when people see exactly how big of losers these people are, after a while, they just begin to say, screw this, and walk the hell away. But we're not done. There's more. You got this tweet right here from this guy called Some Black Guy who, I'm guessing he used to be on the old anti-SJW thing, especially in gaming, who was comparing heels versus babyface to Anna Sarkeesian, of all people, which I find to be extremely strange, given the fact that Anna Sarkeesian's thing was basically to call anybody and everybody misogynistic. Basically, let's go ahead and make girls that are in games, let's just go ahead and make them all ugly. Look, really, really quick. I understand what sells and what does not sell, and I understand why some people might feel that certain women are being objectified in games. But then again, at the same time, though, would you play as an ugly chick? Would you play as a fat girl? I'm asking the lady gamers out there. Would you actually play as that? Would you play as the ugly chick? Also, something else, too. And look, I understand that there are some guys who are into gamer... I wouldn't say gamer girls, but actual game girls, like the actual female character themselves. I personally always thought it was kind of weird, but I don't really screw around with people like that because, I mean, it is their right to do so as long as you're not harming any kids or anything. I really truly don't care. But the thing is this right here, though. If heels versus babyface does not like the product, then quite frankly, heels versus babyface can choose to not like the product. However, it's very, very weird, though, because you've also got people out there looking at the act man. Now, guys, I'm going to try very, 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 and I mean very hard, not to come out here and give a completely, how do I say, negative take here, because I don't think that what's going on here with the act man is him fully selling out like some people have actually said. The act man has always been pretty well, how do I say, apolitical. He's never really and truly wanted to get into politics, but yet you've got people like Jeremy the Quartering and them saying that he's been helped pushing this entire agenda that's on people. But then again, at the same time, though, I understand why some people may get the impression that he does. It seems more to me like this is a little bit more milquetoast, and sometimes even the most milquetoast of issues as far as a person's feelings on a topic can be the hardest to explain. I have not personally seen where the Act Man has posted any woke stuff or anything like that, but then again, I don't follow him as closely. I do recall that he did make some videos basically explaining why is it politics need to be kept out of gaming, and of course he also made the SJW versus Gamers video, which by the way is a very good one, explaining Gamergate, explaining all the very, very bad characters, the very, very bad actors who are involved in gaming, who are trying to push leftist politics and absolutely ruin it. So for him to practically say this type of thing that people are accusing him of selling out over is a little bit surprising. I will say that there. But then again, though, at the same time, though, he did have this little clip that people took out of context. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll
Please,
this.
God, don't give Revan non-binary pronouns. Since Revan could be either male or female, the door is open, right? Why not add a third option? Well, because the entire game was rewritten and re-recorded to accommodate 2 sets of pronouns. That's a huge investment of time and resources. I guess it wouldn't be such a big deal if it's an optional choice. I just think the effort should be spent making the dialogue that's already there better. Adding a third option is not necessary for more inclusion. Add more romance options if that's what you want. I don't care if you personally want to be referred to as they, them, that's fine. But this is a story. This is writing. This is a video game. And if it's not grammatically correct, I will have an aneurysm. Half of KOTOR is the writing. You need proper syntax, okay? They, used to refer to 2 or more people. Them, 2 or more people. Please do not write this remake bad intentionally.
Sounds to me like he cares more about the story of the game itself. I think he cares more about that than anything else. But still at the same time, though, it does make you wonder exactly where he's at. Is he a part of the old anti-SJW crowd that's just tired of it and doesn't really care anymore? Or is he a part of the crowd that just wants good stories? Look, I have said this on multiple occasions, and quite frankly, I will stand by this. I think that the SJW content in video games needs to stop. I don't want to play it, but then again, though, at the same time, I also want to let you know something else too. Yeah, it took me a second to actually say it. In no way, shape, or form was I going to sit on Hassan Piker's channel and listen to 8 hours of pure garbage. This guy eating chips or whatnot, this champagne socialist, this faux communist who, quite frankly, you guys know me, I'm very, very anti-communist, but still at the same time that I can spot a fake from a mile away. I was no way, shape, or form going to sit there and listen to that guy because, quite frankly, he's stupid. These people don't have anything that, quite frankly, they're going to do outside of a video game. They know that somebody, somewhere, the company's not going to hold them accountable. And as a result of this, you probably think to yourself, wow, maybe you just gave us one hell of a black pill. No, I'm not giving you a black pill at all. I'm actually about to give you one hell of a red and one hell of a white pill. Check it out. These guys who sit around and play these SJW games or whatnot, after a while, their crowd's just going to begin to get smaller and smaller and smaller. If anything, Heels versus Babyface did us all a favor by actually coming out and actually saying something about this game, because now more and more people are just going to say, screw this, and walk away. Now, guys, I showed you the reviews earlier because, obviously, for a second there, I told you that sometimes the reviews can be a little bit more, how do I say, designed to push a bit of an agenda. Okay, they can be. You guys remember The Last of Us Part 2? We all knew that the damn story was crap, but yet at the same time, though, they continued over and over and over again, gaming journalists, to tell us that the product was good, when in reality, 65% to 70% of the people hated the actual product because they didn't like the story, how contrived it was, how crappy it was, how it was that they chose to kill off Joel, and the way they chose to kill him off. People hated that game. This is not the first time this has happened where somebody has actually ranted or actually brought up a game that has some form of SJW connotation that they did not like. Fact of the matter is that people do not want this right here in their games. Okay, they don't want this crap in their games, and obviously the review score is going to be a little bit overblown. So here's my proposal. Let these SJWs continue to dole themselves up with more and more SJW content. Meanwhile, the smart people, the people in the middle, the people who are actually tired of this, even on their side of the aisle, will eventually at some point in time get up and walk the hell over to the other side. I mean, dude, Bethesda kind of did this to themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about making money, right? Right? So if they're not making any money, then quite frankly, they don't have anything to hang their hat on. They have a game that they put out there that got some very good reviews, but yet nobody bought it. And those who did buy it are obviously upset with it. Most of them are. So to all the old anti-SJW people who have apparently gotten tired of being anti-SJWs, who are tired of fighting back against the woke, let me just go ahead and tell you at some point in time, your group is also going to get smaller as well. I just figured I'd go ahead and toss that out there. Let these idiots corner themselves into a hole. Remember to stay base. Let them continue to let them see their circle shrink, which, by the way, they won't see until it's fully shrunk itself. Basically, let them dig their own hole. Let them dig their own nightmare. Just don't play this stupid ass game. Obviously, call it out. Obviously, make people aware of it. But don't buy the product if you know, quite frankly, it's trash. Like I said before, I 100% agree with heels versus babyface, and I feel his gripe. I mean, dude, when Call of Duty decided to go woke, I considered tossing every one of my Call of Duty games in the trash. But then I realized I did not buy Vanguard, and I did not buy the crap that really and truly was woke. I'm just saying that after a while, the wokes will find a way to eat themselves. Let them do it. Guys, John Claymore here. If you like the content, please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign off in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later.